Hi, I'm Nick and welcome to my shop. And today we're tearing down a 3D3 with a big oil leak and we're going to take it apart and see what's going on. Yes, you know, I've been building engines and beautiful cars like my personal Kawasaki Challenger. And you know, sometimes you got people that bring in just their engines. And I've got something very special here. I've got a 3D3 that came in from Motor City, Detroit. Yes, Kendall, who owns a 1968 Dodge Charger matching motor 3D3. This is an engine that he had built a while back, not too long ago, and he's got one major problem. He keeps replacing the rear oil seal and it just keeps leaking and leaking and leaking. When someone changes the seal the rear crankshaft seal 6 or 7 times, you wonder, is it really the seal that's leaking? So I said, you know what? Before I take it apart, let me throw it on the dyno, which we did. And then we had it running and I wanted to make sure where it was leaking from.
And boy, was it ever leaking. If you caught the live show with the dyno test of the engine, you'll remember that it wasn't just dripping oil. It was pouring onto the pan under the engine after just a few minutes.
I see it off the back lip, but it could be coming right from the seal in the back.
Yeah.
Or it could be coming up from higher up. This is what we need to pull it down.
That's right. When I pull out the engine, pick up the flywheel, take a look. It's not an obstacle that they've changed the seal 6, 7 times and it's still leaking.
I have a hard time believing it.
You know, I thought, like many people made a comment, can it be somewhere else in the back? Can it be the gallery plugs? And you know, once you remove the engine on the dynamometer, you remove the flywheel, you look for a stain. So I looked at the gallery plugs and the plug, or should I say the core plug that is in the back of the camshaft. You know, maybe it could leak oil from there, but I took a good look and it's not leaking from there. And we also took a look at the oil pan gasket while it was running on the dynamometer. No, it's not the oil pan gasket. And it was leaking right at the rear crankshaft flange, which is the rear seal. So here I am, I'm ready to take it apart and see what we've got. So also, another thing I just wanted to say that also when we had it running, we pulled out about 320 horsepower. And we also made a cylinder pressure. We took out a spark plug, we cranked it over, and we had a compression cylinder pressure of 125, 130. Now this is a muscular engine. It should have been at least minimum 160. So for this reason, I'm going to take off one cylinder head, remove the oil pan, and so we can measure a few things and take a good look at what's going on. Well, I wanted to remove the cylinder head to see how far below these pistons are below the deck, just to see if that's the correct piston or whatever. And at the same time, I'm going to remove the pan and the rear seal retainer and see what's going on. Is it the seal? Is there a crack in the block? I don't know. So let's start tearing it down and take it from there. Well, I'm going to start by removing the oil pan. I got a few bolts off, but I got a few more to take off. I'm going to take off the pan the way it is. We already drained the oil, but for the reason I'm not going to turn the engine over because there's always some oil left in the engine. So I'm going to take off the pan as it sits. Then we're going to turn it over, and I'm really want to see. I'm going to take off the rear retainer to start with, where all the trouble has started with this engine. So let's get started. I'm going to start using a couple of power tools. I know, you know, for something very simple, removing an oil pan, bolts are no big deal. So let's get started. And I'm curious to see where we take off that rear retainer, see what we got. I've taken out some of the bolts already. I only got 4 left, so I don't take a lot of time on removing bolts. I wonder if this one has a lot of silicone. All right, here we go. You know what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna use a screwdriver. I also use this as a pry bar. It's an old screwdriver. Okay, here we go. There's one right here. Okay. Oh, wow. There's no more bolts left. Wow, they really used a lot of silicone on this. Oh my God, look at this. Ah, why? The gasket makes the seal. I've said it many times. Okay, there we go. Look at the screwdriver on the other side. I jammed it in there and I wanted to separate because they used some sort of a sealant or glue, I'm not sure. Look, I'm gonna damage the pan.
If there's one thing that Nick has seen too many times in his career, it's engines that have been glued together with excessive amounts of silicone sealant. The stuff has a place in engine building for sure, but it seems that some people go way overboard, and it makes Nick pull his hair out when it's time to take the engines apart.
Oh my God, I need a big pry bar for this.
Remember what Nick says, the gasket makes the seal.
This is not going to be easy to remove. Take a look here, you guys. Take a good look.
And once that oil pan finally comes off, there's more surprises inside.
When you run a 3D3 high performance engine, you should have a Windage tray in there. Look at this, you guys. Look at this. Look at this. And I realized there is no Windage tray on this engine, which all 3D3 Magnums and high performance had. Okay, there we go. It's gonna take so much time to clean this. Anyways, there we go. Okay, when you have a guy who builds an engine or something, and then I don't know who installed the gasket. Was it the owner? Was it a friend? Was it a machine shop? Was it the engine builder? I'm not so sure. And you know, the gaskets make the seal. And for some reason, the guy stuck glue everywhere. So, you know, when I see that, you know what I say? Do they know what you're doing? I don't know. So you know what? Let's take off the rear retainer and see what we got. Okay. Let me just take off the filter. There we go. Now I'm just going to turn the engine over. Okay, let me take one bracket off here. We'll start by taking off the distributor. And it's still running points. Not bad. After all, it is the original engine to the car. As you can see, this guy is running a single point distributor, which is original. Okay. You know, this reminds me, back in the day, my first muscle car was a 70 Challenger with a 3.3 Magnum, just like this one. This is a 3.3 also. And it sure brings me back some history. Yeah, here I am, 52 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. That's cool. I just love it. I just love it. Okay, I'm very curious that, you know, why is this thing leaking oil so bad? You know, I'm sure different people approached it, tried to fix it, and nobody has accomplished it yet. Could it be the seal? Can it be a cracked block? We don't know. So it's here for us to tear it down and see what's going on. I feel sad for Kendall that the engine gone through so much with it so many times, and you know, and I also noticed that he told me that the guy who first built the engine, when they start leaking oil, he said that, you know, well, that's how it is. That's the way it is because it's an old design. But I couldn't accept that. You know, at least give it a shot, a second chance. Try to fix it for the gentleman. You know, I just don't ignore him. So I'll give it my best shot with what I got, and we'll see. By now, Kendo has asked me to tear it down, try to get a little bit more horsepower, and at the same time, repair the big oil leak he's got. Let me just remove a few pieces off so I could turn the engine upside down. You know what? Maybe I should remove the intake manifold. Okay, it'll just take a few minutes here. You know what? I better get my marker. I'll be right back. This engine lift plate belongs to Kendall, so you want to make sure it goes back to him. And there we go. And we have some coffee since we're here early in the morning. You know what? I got to thank all our viewers. We've got coffee from all over the place, from so many different locations. And I want to thank my viewers because we got a year's supply of coffee the way we're going here. So thanks to you guys, I got all the coffee in the world. Thanks. Of course, this belongs to Kendall, so I mark his name on it. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm going to turn this engine upside down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start by removing the intake manifold, so it can be less weight as I turn it around. After all, we are going to remove a cylinder head. I'm just curious to see how far the piston is below the deck. And you know what? This is a muscle car engine. Being such a low compression, making 320, 330 horsepower, not good enough. Let's try to bring it to at least 1 horsepower per cubic inch. I can't wait to see what's in there. I'm just curious. We have a few more pieces here. So far, so good. Okay. I guess they glue this on also. Okay. Let's take off this intake manifold, factory cast iron. There we go. You know what? You know, he does not have the factory cam in there. He's installed another cam in it, but let's take it off. Let's take off the valley pan gasket and see what we got. Oops, 3/8. I'm used to going to 7/16 on those bolts. That's factory, but doesn't matter. You had them replaced with smaller ones. Still does the job. Now you see, somebody stuck these rails over the intake gasket. The silicone should have been underneath the gasket, not between the support brace on top of the gasket. Look, look. There is no oil between this brace and the gasket on the top. So that tells you that the guy whoever did this job, there we go, see? Anyways, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, we're gonna do it next way when it's done. All right. That oil pan gasket that I removed earlier, wow, it was a battle. Here we go. Okay, let's take off that rear retainer. I'm curious to see what's going on. I'm just visually looking here quick to see if there's any cam lobe worn out. Apparently this is a brand new cam in there. I'm not so sure. But in the meantime, I'm curious to take off that rear retainer and to see what's going on back there. Okay, you know what, let me take off the fuel pump. Take that out of the way. There we go. Yeah, this is the correct fuel pump. Okay. I should take off all these braces since I'm going to get to the rear retainer, but anyways. I don't need this for the engine build, but you know what? It's here. I'll put it all together. Is that a new cam? I'm not so sure. Okay. All right, let's see if I can turn it over. All right, there we go. I also remember Kento telling me that they also replaced the crankshaft. For what reason, he doesn't know, and I don't know. Okay. Here we go. So let me take off the oil strainer, then we're going to work on the retainer, which is right here. Okay. So this engine should have came from the factory, a windage tray, which is between the block and the oil pan. Do you guys know what a windage tray is? You want me to show you? I'm gonna go get one. All big block Mopars came with a windage tray. 383, 440, 446 pack, 6 barrel, and the 426 Hemi. This is between the block and the oil pan. So you use a gasket between the block and the windage tray, and another gasket, and then the oil pan. So this is the windage tray. As you guys can see, this was missing on this engine. So you know what? I'm gonna find one, also install it. Purpose of a windage tray is preventing the oil splashing back on the crank, which gives it extra horsepower at high RPM. So windage tray is, you know, with so much windage going on inside the oil pan while it's revving, you want to keep the oil away from the crank because it creates a drag, so it slows down the crank. It slows down the crank, it also robs horsepower. And for that reason, this is what this is used for. For every high performance big block Mopar, this is what comes standard. Chrysler 440s, Imperial, Newport, big Chryslers, don't have a window tray. So that's got nothing to do with the rear oil leak. So right here is the retainer where the seal is kept. So right now, I'm gonna have to break all this glue gasket so I can find the bolts that hold the retainer. I also see that he also had to replace the retainer with a billet aluminum. Okay, so this is not a factory retainer. Of course, you know, having so many issues with the leaking, they said, you know what, let's replace the retainer. So I'm gonna go get a Allen socket and let's get it removed and see what's under there. Let's take off the rear crankshaft seal retainer. Now, have they changed the seal a few times, the retainer? I'm not so sure. But my job here is to find out what's going on. Let's take off that retainer, see what's going on.
Like an experienced investigator working a case, Nick is homing in on the clues, looking for the reasons why this engine went bad.
Here we go. Let's see what we got. Installed correctly. It's got the lip pointing on the inside, so that is correct. You know, usually when I put seals, I put them offset a bit. Okay. It's not offset. Plus the seal is installed the correct way. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, this is a mystery. This is a mystery I want to find. It's got silicone on the ends. It's got silicone on the sides. So that's good. The seal is there. But let's take a good look, see what's going on. I'm trying to see that if the seal, the edge of the lip is touching the crankshaft. Let me take a good look here. Also, you know, maybe if you don't think it's the seal, you might have to magnaflux the block on the rear section to see it's not possible that they replace the seal 6-7 times and it's still leaking. So, you know, putting it together, you got to double check everything. Triple check if you have to. Okay, let me see. You know, I've used these Viking seals. I've used the black ones, the orange ones. I've used them both. They've both worked for me. But why? Why is the question? Why? I don't know. And they've also had the crankshaft replaced. For what reason, I do not know. I've asked Kendall, he doesn't know either. Okay, so far I don't see anything wrong. I can see there's nothing wrong with the seal. It's installed correctly. And to have a major oil leak like we had on the testing it on the dyno was a massive oil leak. So the only thing I can see is, you know, whenever you install silicone on the sides or on the ends, the most important thing is that it's super clean before you apply silicone, because you know there's a pressure buildup in the crankcase that could be pushing oil out of the sides or where the ends butt to the block. I see very little silicone here on this end, but was it possible that they did it so many times that they did the same mistake? I doubt it very much. You know, they put so much silicone in so many different places, maybe where they need to put it right here, they don't have much on it. Okay. I'm still not sure what's going on here. You know what? Let's turn the crank. Maybe it's got a scratch on it. But they had the crank replaced, crankshaft, they had it replaced. Let me take a good look. You know, the seal sits on a knurled part of the crankshaft, which is right here. Something looks strange there. You know, over here, crankshaft where the rear seal goes, it has a knurl, which you look right here on this half of the crank. It's got a knurl. You see it? Over here. You see it? Look at it. Take a good look. And now on this side, you see nothing. That knurl should be all the way at 360 degrees on the crankshaft, which is not. But I'm still going to have the block verified for any cracks, magnafluxed in the rear end where the oil comes out. But from what I see, I don't like what I see there. I don't. You know, you can change the seal as many times you want. If the crank's not perfect, it's still going to leak. Here, I've just turned it over now. If you take a look again, it's knurled all the way across. Then I'm going to turn it again. I want to see if there's any more knurling on the other side. So let me make a half a turn on it. There we go. Let's take a look. So far, so good. Let me check again. And if you take a good look here, there's hardly any knurling at all. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do, remove the crankshaft, take it to my buddy Richard at the crankshaft place and have it verified. I wanted to see if that thing is oval, round, or whatever. So I don't think it seems to be a seal problem, it seems to be a crankshaft problem. But you know what? I'm gonna have to look into that. Okay, so that's where I stand with the rear seal on the crankshaft. And now I was thinking about the pistons, why we have low cylinder pressure. From what I see here, these seem to be the pistons off the shelf cast aluminum. If you can take a good look, you can tell that these are just plain old 383 pistons. And every time I build a 383, the only pistons I find on the market is what's on the shelf. And when you put them into the engine block, they're very low below the deck. For that reason, that's what he's got. So I'm gonna take off one cylinder head to take a good look, see what we got. And in cases like this, either you deck the block, if it's too much, you don't go there, you replace the pistons. And of course, we're gonna get forged pistons. What he's got here is cast pistons. So let's start removing one cylinder head and take it from there. It's not a double roller timing chain either, as you can tell. If you take a good look, it's just a simple timing chain. But that's no big deal. All right, let's take off a cylinder head. And you know, I've been building a lot of 3D3s and I know what's on the shelf. What's on the shelf is the pistons are very low below the deck, even lower than the factory pistons. And I don't work with that. In this case, when you make a special order on pistons, you want to make sure you got the compression height taller than the original castings. Now, I don't know, has this block been decked? I have no idea. What I mean by deck the block is when you shave the block right here to bring the head further down, closer to the piston to raise the compression ratio. Also, the cylinder pressure. Boy, here we go again. Again, silicone, silicone, silicone.
Say it with us, you guys. The gasket makes the seal.
Yeah, it's stuck on there. Okay, you know, practically 90% of the engines I take apart, I always find the same issue. Glue silicone on all the gaskets. Oh well, never mind. Okay. You know, it doesn't matter if you put on the lower side where the oil stays on the cylinder head, put a thin film of silicone right here, just on the bottom where the oil stays while the engine's running, and then put the gasket on, and no silicone between the gasket and the cylinder head. Just a thin film of silicone between the valve cover and the valve cover gasket on the lower side. Halfway here, right across. Because old valve covers are sometimes wavy, and for that reason you put silicone here to protect it from leaking. Okay, I'm going to take off this cylinder head. Well, I'm going to start by removing the rockers and the push rods, of course. It is a hydraulic flat tappet camshaft. Okay, let's go. Let me crack the rockers loose. You know, when you do something that's on a shaft mounted, you try to slack all the bolts one at a time, because you don't want to bend the shaft as you remove it, because it's under spring pressure when some of the rockers are open valve position, like so. You back it off slowly. There we go. These are factory rockers. I use them very often. People ask me, Nick, why don't you go to roller rockers? But you know what? Why? These rockers do the job. I have them in my Kowalski Challenger, and I've been revving at 6,500 RPM so often that this engine is still holding. And if you guys want to see, it is another full 40 in here, and it's giving me no issues. Plus, roller rockers are expensive, or adjustable rockers. Why? These do the job. When customers look for a little bit more horsepower than over factory, the factory rockers do the job. Okay, let's put this down here like so. Let's take off the push rods. Push rods, you can mix them up, don't worry about that, especially when they're all the same length. Then after all, I am going to check, make sure that none of them are bent. These are factory push rods. Now we're going to remove the cylinder head, but I'm just curious to see what head gasket they're using and also how far the piston is below the deck. And at the same time, maybe the block was decked, I'm not sure. So let's get going. Okay. Wow. Line. Okay. Is it over torqued? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, sometimes that's no good because you stretch a bolt and you really don't want to use that bolt. Okay. Oh, sometimes it could just be seized, you know. It's okay. Okay, let's go. There are 17 bolts holding the cylinder head together. Or should I say, compress the gasket. The head gasket. These are factory bolts. I don't know why it's got a sealer or something on it. Factory don't recommend Molly lube. That was on ARP bolts that you use it on. Anyways, here's the same thing here. I don't know why. For some reason, I don't use anything on the, when I install head bolts on a 440, they do not go through the water jacket like a Chevrolet motor. So in other words, you just have a thin film of oil, let it drip down, and then just torque them down. That's the way they recommend it from the factory. But you see, look, why it's got this, I have no idea. Is it silicone? It is, but why? That tells me that somebody who ever built this engine has no knowledge of what's going on. I'm sorry, you know, I'm just saying, look. No, this is not a, you don't need this. Okay. Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. From the factory, it came with a 20 thou shim gasket. And this one is a Felpro, which is a thicker, twice as much than the, this is like a 43 thou thickness. In other words, the thicker the gasket, the less compression ratio you got. Okay, as you guys can see, they're practically new pistons in here. So this engine did not run very long. And it is a 30 overbore, as you guys can see right here. There you go, 30 overbore. Now I'm going to find the piston top dead center, any piston, doesn't matter. Let's take this one for example. I'm going to turn the crankshaft, bring the piston to the highest point so we can see how far below the deck it is. So here we go. Let's bring the piston to the maximum height. I guess it's right there. Let's zero it in, like so. So we all know that this is the piston at its maximum height. Now, this is what I was looking for. So now you can see that the piston is at the maximum height, and you can tell just by with the naked eye that this piston is way below the deck. This is the deck, this is the top of the piston, okay? All right, we've brought the piston to the maximum height. Let's zero in the gauge at the deck, which is like so. All right, we're on the deck. Now we're gonna slide it over to the piston, see how much the dial indicator drops, and that is the depth of the piston, or the deck height. Here we go, watch this. Going to the center of the piston. And here we have it, you guys. We have 50, 60, 70, 72, 73 thou. That's 73 thou below the deck. When I build my engines, I try to bring the piston as close as possible to the deck, or even zero deck, which is right up to the top. So as you can see here, we got cast pistons. They're so far below the deck that drops the compression ratio or the cylinder pressure. And another thing, these engines came from the factory with a steel shim head gasket, like so, which is roughly 20 thou. If you guys take a look, I'm just gonna show you quick. 2021, okay? This is what comes from the factory in a gasket, an engine like this. 2021 thou is a factory head gasket, which is a lot thinner. Of course, it gives you more compression compared to the Felpro gasket that they're using here, which is 41 thou. So the gasket is 20 thou thicker. So when you look at it, you got a 42, 41 thou thickness of a gasket. So we got a thick gasket, the piston way below the deck, and it's not gonna make any power whatsoever. So to do this correctly, we zero deck the block, or we get another set of pistons that go higher and also go the 20 thou shim gasket. Because when you use a cast iron cylinder head, like in this situation, you could get away with the steel shim gasket of 20 thou. If you're using aluminum heads, then of course you go with the Felpro gasket. I mean, you go with the paper gasket like so. Anyways, there we have it. So now we know why we have a low compression cylinder pressure. Piston's too low, got a thick gasket when you could have went with the thinner shim. You know, you could have added a few more horsepower just by going with a thinner gasket of 20 thou. Probably would have gained 10 to 15 more horsepower. But in this case, I want to bring the piston up. I want to do at least 383 horsepower, which we said earlier, 1 horsepower per cubic inch. So there you have it. So we figured out two mysteries here. You got to bring the piston up, zero deck the block, whatever. Maybe, of course, I might have to replace the pistons. I do not know. So I got to get in touch with Kendall, the owner of this engine, see which way he wants to go. Do I deck the block? Do I change the pistons? Or whatever. And for the crankshaft, I'm going to have to take it out, send it to the machine shop, check it with Richard, make sure why it's not narrowed 100% all the way around 360 degrees. We'll look into it and we'll see, and we'll take it from there. So thanks for watching us here on Nick's Garage, and we stay tuned until I build this engine my way, and then it goes back on the dyno, see what it does. See you next time.
So, the case of the leaky 383 has been solved by Nick, the engine detective. And as a reward, let's open some mail.
You know, we haven't done mail time for a long time, but I gotta get going on it because we got quite a few packages to open up. So I want to stay tuned here and show it off to my viewers on camera in front of you guys. So I want to get started with our local from Motorama. We're going to start with those gifts, and I want to thank everybody that gave me gifts, and I was overwhelmed with so many things going on at the show. And of course, I want to thank everybody at Motorama for showing up to see me at the show in person. But most of all, I want to thank you all guys. I know I appreciated seeing my viewers in person that were there in Toronto, and of course showing off my Kowalski Challenger and my 528 Hemi display. So let's get started, get some mail open on what came in to me in person in Toronto. And we'll start with this lantern that is 1 out of 1 made in person by Gord and Colleen that made it for me. I just want to show you guys. This is a Hemi orange lantern, and it was customly made just for me, and he told me it's only 1 of 1. He does a lot of woodwork, so this is something very special. He tells me when you light it up, you can see it through the Mopar logo here on the sides, like so. And then we're going to a dark room, of course, we bring it down. There we go. That's neat. Wow, this is custom made. This was given to me in person at Motorama. It's 1 of 1. Also, he also had it painted a Hemi orange for me. So Gord and Colleen, I want to thank you very much. This would be cute to put in a nice dark room and beside the Christmas tree, actually, and have it lit up. That's great. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Gord and Colleen. Thank you very much. And you know, Gord and Colleen were some of the people we met there. Then we met someone else that came with another display for me. This was given to me while I was standing beside my Hemi, and when I was standing beside my 528 Hemi display, and this was given to me by Kevin from Ontario. We got a Dodge Super Bee here. He gave me the sign. And, I said, you know what? I'm going to post it up into my shop. And Kevin, thank you very much. I'm going to just have to make a spot somewhere and put it up. And I think I got the right place right there. Yeah, right next to my poster at the high car show that I had my Challenger with the C17. And Kevin, if I'm going to put it up there, I got to put your name in the front. So when I put it up, people are going to say it's a gift. And who gave it to me? I'm going to say it's Kevin. Kevin from Ontario. Thank you, Kevin. All right. And now let's open up the third package.
All of these from Motorama.
And all these were given to me in person at Motorama. And this is from Aiden. He brought this to me in person. Okay, let's see now. I'm a big fan of your show. I know you collect and hang flags at the shop, but I'm sure anything that would be relevant for me to give you something that's already hanging up. I know you're a moper guy, so here is a couple of shirts from my time working at Chrysler. It doesn't get more genuine than that. Keep putting up smiles on people's faces, keep making horsepower, and keep having fun. Also, keep up the good work. Peace, love, and muscle cars. Aiden. Aiden, thank you. Okay, Aiden, this is what you got us. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Blue Mountain Chrysler. Aiden.
It's his own work shirt.
It's his own work shirt, man. Aiden, you didn't have to give me your shirt. Come on.
Wow.
You gotta be kidding. That's cool.
How generous.
Okay, let's see what else you got here.
Literally the shirt off his back.
That's right. That's a shirt off your back, that's for sure. So, here we go. Here's another one. Wow, he gave us 2 Blue Mountain Chrysler shirts. Aiden, you didn't have to do that. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool, man. Aiden, thank you very much, Aiden. Thank you. Here we are. Okay, the last one from Motorama was given to me, and I believe it's from Gary and Raven. Let's take a look. At Motorama, there was so much action going on. I was talking to so many people, photographing things, signing things, and people approach me one after the other. And sometimes you forget they give you a gift. If they don't put their name on a box, you might say, okay, I'm Gary, I give you this gift, but you gotta understand, you guys. I've met so many people, so many things going on at the same time. I couldn't remember everything. So I'm just hoping that I'm correct on this one. Okay, here we go. Now, what do we got here? Well, this just seems to be a big decal. Here we go. That's a logo I keep seeing. Here we go.
That's fantastic.
That is cool, man. This has to go put up somewhere, man. Here we go. That's when I push that button on the dyno in many cases. Yeah, here we go. Bang, bang, and push on and start making. This is cool. I never expected any of that. Hope I'm correct. Gary Raven, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I sure had a great time at Motorama. Everybody coming to see me, smiling, taking pictures, signing things, giving me gifts. What more can you ask for? I was overwhelmed and I had a great time, and I want to thank everybody that was being there for me. And this one is from Mississauga, Ontario. And this one here is from Steve. Okay. This is the Steve I was looking for. If I remember correctly, I think this was given to me at Motorama. Okay, here we go. Let's open it up. Okay, something different here. Pony cars. August 25th, 2020, Sacramento, California. Wow, that's a cool Challenger. Okay, this is Steve from Toronto, which I built them, or should I say from Mississauga, Ontario, which I built them an engine he's brought back here a few years ago. Hello, Nick. I always loved your passion and dedication to the muscle car hobby. So much that I brought you my 340 out to out of his 70 CUDA to rebuild in 2019. That day in December 2019 when my friends and I came to pick up the engine was a day to remember. Your hospitality was next to none. I also want to thank Big George for his dedication as well. Without him, none of this could have happened. Totally agree with you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks to all you and stay well. Long live Nick's Garage. Steve from Mississauga, Ontario. P.S. Include our photos of the CUDA and Nick's handiwork. It's a long process when you do most of the work yourself. Oh, I also sent you something you expressed in liking to in one of the live shows. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, here we are. This is a 70 CUDA, which we built a 70, of course, a 7340 engine, which is the matching motor. There it is. This was on a dynamometer. And this is the engine we did at 1 horsepower per cubic inch with all original engine pieces. The cast iron intake manifold, the original carburetor, exhaust manifolds, cast iron intake, everything. And here it is. Beautiful, just beautiful. And it still has the original oil filter that I painted the engine with, which you can change it now, Steve, don't worry. Anyways, it's all good. And here it is inside the car. It's a fully restored 1970 CUDA 340 car, matching numbers. This is the underbelly, which is done correctly. That's the way they were done at the factory. Very, very nice. Very nice work. Wow, check that out. B5 blue. This is beautiful, man. This is beautiful. Steve, thank you very much. And I appreciate it that you brought your engine here that we had it built for you. And of course, meeting you at the Motorama was a pleasure. And of course, this poster. Anyway, Steve, thank you very much. And hope you get that CUDA running very soon. So we just done all the mail from, was given to me in Motorama. And I hope I didn't forget anybody because, you know, there was so much going on. And I'm sorry if I forgot your names, if I did not mention them. Sorry, and thank you for coming by. So now let's go across the country. And let's start from outside of Motorama, what came into my mail. And this one is from Michael from Manitoba. Okay, this is pretty fragile, eh? Okay, Michael, what did you send us? All right, here we go. What we got here? Oh, wow. What is this? This is fragile, no?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we gotta be very careful here.
Wow.
There we go.
Wow.
All right. Okay, dear Nick, I really enjoy your show. I am a big fan. My son and I made this model. Okay, you made this model. I love how it shows how engine works. I have enjoyed the knowledge you share with us and thought you would appreciate this. Have a great summer, and I am looking forward to the next video. Michael, thank you very much. Let's see what you've got us here. Okay, it's battery operated. I gotta see this. I've never seen this before. And this was custom made. Oh, wow.
Nick, it looks like my old straight six. Wow!
Wow. You see the lockers moving, push rods? Check it out. You see the crankshaft, the pistons going up and down? The only thing we're missing is motor oil. Talk about electric motors, here's one. This is cool. Hey, look. It even ignites the spark plugs. Look at this. On the compression stroke. Check it out.
Oh, there they go.
Yeah, check it out. Now I know why the wiring is there. It's got a firing order. Wow, this is too much. It's got a timing belt. It's got the fan, rockers. This is cool, man. I gotta put this in my office on display. And this came from Manitoba. Michael, thank you very much. This is very unique. And you had this personally built for me. Cool. You gotta see this, man. You know, on the party, we're gonna have a party on June the 3rd. I'm gonna show it off. This is gonna be something interesting. You know, the gifts I get around the world is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I like the way the sparks shoot for the spark plugs. Too much. Cool, really cool. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Okay, now our next bell now is going to be on the south side of the border, USA. Here we go. And this one here is from Adam from Mechanicsville, New York State. Okay, please open at mail time. Of course I am. Here we go. Okay, it feels very heavy, this package. You know, when it comes to mail time, I pile them up here on the chair, and then when I got a few gathered up, I call in George, and then we make mail time. And we officially open them up for the first time live in front of you guys like so. Okay, what do we got here? All right, Yasu Nico. Here's a letter. All right, here we go. First of all, I would like to wish you, George, and the entire crew at Indy Auto Kala Kristugina ke Chronia Pola. In other words, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, the reason why, because we opened up this very late. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We're still here. Okay, enclosed are a couple of dealer-issued 2023 Mopar performance calendars for your shop. Wow, okay. I've also enclosed a few pictures of you. One is my 2011 Dodge Challenger SRT8 and a 1984 55 Power Trans Am. Another one is one of 3 Demons and 1 wide body Hellcat, which are a few of many modern day customers' challenges I service. The last picture is one of us in Carlisle last year. I remember, Adam, I mentioned Carlisle. We had a great time there. And it was great to meet you in person. I look forward to seeing you at Carlisle again this July. Your YouTube channel is by far the best. Keep up the good work. Adam from Doc Challenger. Adam, thank you very much. And I hope you guys had a great time with me at Carlisle. I'm hoping to make it again this year. And by the way, you know, Adam, I know I heard that you wanted to be at the Motorama show. Someone was telling me. But you couldn't make it. Of course, we're not close by, New York and Toronto. But in the meantime, if you don't make it back, of course, to our shop or anything like that, I'm looking forward to meet you again in Carlisle coming this July. Adam, thank you very much. Okay, here's another one from the USA.
What?
And this one is from Perry from New York.
But I have a feeling Perry is someone we met recently.
You think so? Okay. Okay. Right on the very top. Most important thing is the letter, you guys. I want to hear what my viewers have to say. Hello, Nick and crew. My wife, kids, and I wanted to express your gratitude and appreciate for allowing us to visit your garage and see all of the amazing cars and all the current projects. Getting to see the cam breaking in on the dyno for the Hemi for 20 minutes was an unexpected treat. I've never seen an engine first start up after a fresh rebuild. It was exciting to say the least. Enclosed is the Philippines flag and some coffee to help you keep things going. Maybe someday we can visit again. We wish you all the best. Say hello to the crew for us. Lynn, PJ, Ellie, and Perry. Thank you. All right, let's see what you got. Philippine flag. And of course, here they are. Picture them here in the dyno breaking in an engine, breaking in a camshaft on an engine, on the dynamometer. I remember they were here not long ago. And now, of course, they sent us coffee. Okay, Nantucket blend, medium roast. Boy, we're getting a lot of coffee in this shop. Breakfast blend from New England. Here we go. And of course, French roast coffee. Café du Monde. Here's another one. Wow, this is quite delightful. We're gonna have coffee like forever. And of course, the flag of the Philippines, which I do not have. So here's the flag of the Philippines. There we go. All right. So let's put their name on it. There you go. The whole family. And this is the way it goes, eh, George?
Yep, blue side up for the sky. Beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And here's another one from the USA. And this one is from the state of Alaska. You know, we do have the flag of Alaska, and you know, we do have a few viewers from Alaska. And this is from Joseph. No, I've never been to Alaska. If anybody wants to ask me, no, never been there. It's way far from here. And first of all, I believe it's a cold state, and I'm not crazy about cold weather anymore. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh boy, this is something unique. More coffee. Wow. Okay, we have a lot of coffee here. Wow, they went have a coffee party for sure, eh? Okay, Joseph, let's see what you sent us here. Okay, dear Nick and crew, one of the best things that came out of COVID lockdown was that I found you guys on YouTube. I had to work remotely from home during this time, and I didn't have enough to do to stay busy, so I started searching for anything Mopar, and that's when I found you. I watched all the past videos to the present, and now I continue to look forward to your show every week. You even inspired me to build my own engine test stand in break-in cams and look for oil leaks. You are inspirational. Keep up the good work. Peace, love, and muscle cars.
Nice.
Joe from Fairbanks, Alaska.
Wow.
And hope you enjoy the coffee and photos of some of my projects. Also included is the book from the Fountainhead Antique Auto Museum in Fairbanks, Alaska. If you are ever in Fairbanks, I would be more than honored to show you around. Joe, thank you very much. And what do you got here? I see now you got your own engine built. And of course you want to work on your own cars, and you got an engine stand, you got it running. Breaking the cam, check for oil leaks like I do on a dyno. Good for you. Thank you for your picture, and of course, watching us on YouTube. Thank you. Here's another one from the USA. And this is from Douglas from the state of Florida. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, I've been to Florida many times before. That's one state. How many Quebecers have gone there? All the Quebecers have gone there. Okay. All right, let's see what this is. This is something, it's got to be unique. This has got to be unique. All right. Nick, greetings from Florida, USA. Here you will find a spark plug installer that I had to send you out of watching you take the plugs out of a Hemi. It's true, the spark plugs are deep in the tube. You know, this is a great idea. Just put it in like that and pull them out. Hey, that's cool. That's very nice. You can use this on any engine and never burn your hands again. Pat applied for. Hope you enjoy. Wow. Douglas, let's see what you got here now. So I get it. So I could loosen the spark plug in a Hemi and down the tube, poke this in, pull it out. Hey, that's great. And then at the same time, put it in, pull it off, tighten the spark plug. I have the perfect location for this tool. Again, every time I work on a Hemi, I'll think of you, Doug. Plug in, plug out. Nice. Thank you, Doug.
You can call it the Doug plug.
Yeah, we're going to call this the Doug plug. All right? Thank you, Douglas.
Here we
Here's
go.
another one from the good old USA. And this one is from Lazaro, the state of Florida, again. All right, what do we got here? Let's see.
Don't you wish you were in Florida instead of up here in cold
You
Canada?
know, having this cold weather here, I wish I was in Florida right now. And you know, it's they call it spring here, but you know what? It still feels like winter to me. Okay, here we go. Hi, Nick. My name is Larry. I'm from Brooksville, Florida. I sent you this pack to some neat stuff. Coffee, you have to make it Greek style. In Ilikos Cafés. Okay, the Greek way. The rest is self-explained. The badge, I know you're traditional and you won't put it on, but it's a cold batch of hard. Definitely deserves it. The rest is just stickers. Up the flag is from Cuba. I was born in Cuba, but I moved to the United States in 1962. But I know you don't have a Cuban flag. So there it is. Well, you have one, and have a nice day. You know, we don't have a Cuban flag. That's true. And you know, these guys in Cuba, you know, with the embargo for so many years, you can't buy parts from the United States. But you got to give these Cubans credit that you guys, no matter what you had, you made all these old American cars run on import engines or whatever. So I got to give it to you guys that, you know, you have no local American auto parts to help you support your cars, but you always found ways. And you guys, I give you a lot of credit for that. Good for you. Thank you, Lazaro. Thank you very much. And another one from the USA. Oh, this is pretty heavy. Okay, and this one is from Keith from Nebraska. Okay, Keith, what do we got us here? Oh, I think we had this before from Nebraska. Mahogany. Oh, it's a good coffee. I've had it before. It's good stuff. Hi, Nick. Hope all is well with your family and crew. Keep the awesome videos coming and have fun and be safe. Keith, thank you very much, Keith. I gotta put his name on it. This is too much. Dark roast. Yeah, that's cool. Here you go, Keith. All yours. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Our last package here came from Peru. Let's see what we got. Okay, so Domingo sent me an email that he had a exhaust gasket for $340 that I was looking for. So I told him, you know, Domingo, send it to me and I'll be more than glad to pay you for whatever it costs. And there it is. You got a 340 driver's side high performance exhaust manifold. This is what you need. Is this awesome or what, eh? all the way from Peru, you guys. Imagine that. And I've always said there's an American muscle car in every country in the world. And here it is, gaskets, parts for an American car from Peru. Just to finish it off, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been at Motorama, our Patreon supporters, and all our viewers from around the world supporting him on my live shows. When I ask for something, help me out, find parts or whatever. Anyways, I want to give you guys a big hug, and I thank you. I love you all, and thanks for watching us here on Nick's Garage. And most of all, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And of course, you guys, peace, love, and muscle cars. And thank you. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content, and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.